And welcome to another stream then on Gran Turismo Sport. It's been a fun month on Gran Turismo actually, and tonight of course we've got the FIA race, which I was practicing for yesterday, which was a nightmare. I confess, for the life of me, I cannot get my head around how to get the maximum out of this car, but all I can do today is, if nothing else, get the maximum out of myself, and hope that that's to an extent good enough to get a reasonable result, even if it's not up in the podium area. This is going to be quite challenging, and I hope you enjoy the stream and some of the action that happens. So we'll see how we get on, and I'll just get the chat ready and then we'll be ready to go. So let's just see how we get on as we do a little bit of practice. What have we got? 2 minutes. Let's do a lap so we can get one lap in that time. Just about. Horrid car. We've got Daryl here. Thanks, Daryl. I'll do my best. I wish I'd had a bit more practice time actually. I've come on here today and I feel super rusty again. It takes a lot for me to There we go. So let's bring your chat up. I can see it all clearly, and then we'll see how we go. Move the speaker a little bit so it's just not in the way of the light, and microphone there. And so that's the lobby. It's a bit of a mix of A's and B's. Probably could do more harm than good if I do bad in this race, but I don't feel very confident tonight. I think this is going to be a bit of a tough one, but we'll just do our best. And I look at it this way: two people are going to crash out, and when you do crash out, your race is over. There's no getting back into this. So, apart from overtaking other people that may crash later in the race. So, warm up. Check everything's as it should be, or whatever. I know it's incidental, but I'll do that anyway. And there's not really anything else I want to change there. Everybody's getting out the pits, aren't they? Everybody wants a little bit of a warm up in this car. Just seeing what braking is like on the inside. Let him by. Oh, didn't know someone was there then. Oh, and I got a penalty. At least that wasn't qualifying. Bit of indecision from my part there. It's going to be a very challenging race, isn't it? Okay. There we go then. Qualifying. Let's see how we get on. Now we're rated at 4th in this room for some reason. So thanks, Big Mike. The problem is I'm stuck between a guy up front and this guy behind is also pushing quite hard and he's out lap. And I don't really want to let him by, so... And he's going to have to go, isn't he? Look at him lunging. What is the point in that? Oh my god. Go on then. Blimey, what is the problem with these guys? And I get an SR down for that. Wow, okay. Now I've got no space and a lap ruined. Brilliant. can improve. I would let that guy past, but let's drive off the racing line. Go on, go on, go on. One last run if we have time. Oh, we're not going to get time. That's a shame. Oh well. Never mind. Oh, this is hell for me, this race. I just want to get through it, basically. My target for today is 5th place. If I can get 5th and I've improved upon my starting position, then that's the best I can do today. This car just doesn't... Unfortunately, it's not my style of driving, and that's that, basically. I've not been trained in this way. Kevin Dooley here as well. Hi Kevin, good to see you on the stream. One more lap. If we get across the line, it might give us one more lap, or it might not. No, it's just the end. No, not able to improve there. It's a very tricky circuit. So hi Cole, Kevin, Jason, Amigo, Max, Mad Max, and doing my best. I probably should have pitted a lap earlier, and I might have gone out and done a bit better with the lighter car. But I felt I did my best in that qualifying. As soon as your tyres become worn, even hard, so that second and third lap, I kind of made a gamble really and thought, oh, well, maybe a clearer track is worth more than better tyres, but ultimately it didn't work out that way. But I think if you look at it really, I mean, I've actually gone faster than the guy in pole position in my practice, so I know I've got that ability. But I think, as we saw yesterday, you know, it really is luck of the draw in terms of, you know, tying a lap together. You know, one wrong move and you'll just fall off the track. So this is going to be a race of attrition today. I think it's going to be interesting to see how everybody lays out. And you can see for the rankings, this could be terrible for the rankings today. But could I increase the game volume? I can. Increase the game volume a bit for you guys. There we go. That should be a bit better for you guys now when the race starts. It's always very marginal on these volume controls. Right. That is that. And so now we await the grid procedure and a bit of racing. Yes, it is a James Bond type car action, but it's going to be challenging today. Stay out of trouble. I think that's all I can do today. I think my goal today is drive round as quick as I can and hope for the best and hope nobody takes me out. But, you know, out of my hands. But there's that music. Right, so Amigo, I'll come back to you on the FFB thing after the race, but suffice to say, this works great with a wheel. Forza 7, in my experience in the past, doesn't. Race from racing experience is great. R Factor 2 is great. That's not to say everything's perfect. Everyone's got a different feel every game, but there's a grip loss feeling that's really good from Gran Turismo Sport. That you really understand what the car's doing, and it's quite realistic as well. So I actually think Gran Turismo's got great force feedback on the whole, especially with the TGT wheel. I'm not using it at the moment, but with that, it's really special, the feeling from the track surface. So where are we? 6th on the grid. It's not the end of the world, is it? I mean, if we can all be sensible, I think, on the first lap. Contact in these cars can be bad for everybody, so we really don't want any contact with anyone. And OJD says, how do you play GT? If you just go into GT Sport mode, there's an option there, enter FIA race. Anyone can enter, and it will compare you with drivers of similar ability depending on your ranking, which is great. So got Naughty Gamer now following as well. Brilliant. Randomizer 56 is subscribed. Missed that. Look at that. It's a big old grid, isn't it? 19 cars. So we just need to keep our heads together. Oh, I didn't know it's a standing start. Oh, brilliant. I'm letting them through. Please don't hit me. Ah, nothing I could do there. Let one through and you're letting two through, aren't you? But there you go. Don't know what happened to the guy behind me. There is one. This guy's really starting to hold me up now. It's a bit of a problem, whether he's not getting on with his worn tyres or what. But, tyres are wearing. Practically ice skating around this track, I tell you. Tyres are gone. They are gone. I'm cruising a bit on this final couple of laps, just simply because no point pushing, getting penalties and all that jazz. Done. Oh, goodness me. Well, that was okay. That was a good result, actually. I'm quite pleased about that. I think if you'd said to me, third place finish at the beginning, I'd have said, yes, please. Third place, podium finish. It's very easy. You've got to be very careful with the overtakes in that. Assessing. I mean, that driver was kind. He recognised the point that I was ahead and then fell in. He was clearly struggling with his tyres, and that's really helpful. Otherwise, you can end up with a situation where, you know, you're sort of all struggling and bumping into each other and stuff like that. It's a measured race, but 6th place to 3rd, I'm pleased with that. It's not a bad points haul either, given where I am in the rankings. And that was a solid race, solid race. Thanks for the race. Yeah, let's just save the replay. I will have to go through these replays one day and start editing bits out of them, and maybe I won't. No, I won't have the time, but that was always the plan. So a good podium there. And 3,100 points on the board now, which is okay. You know, it's not bad, given it's my first ever season, and I started from, you know, the very bottom just a few weeks ago. Let's move the old sellotape. I'll just take these off for a minute, just because it does get a bit hot, doesn't it? I mean, it's quite a lot of concentration running these races, you know, and you just want to relax. Quite tired as well. So let's go through some of your comments, guys, because we'll just bang on a replay while we do that. Yeah, and I got my gift card. Let's get through that. What did they give me? Anything nice? You always see like 3 really cool cars, and then they just pick the one you don't want. Okay, so we got a Le Mans car, which is something. So the Porsche 919. I can't go wrong there, can I? Can't go wrong there. Actually, something nice for a change. Often I normally just get standard road cars or something that you're just never going to use. Ice skating is stressful. It was on that final couple of laps. You could see how everybody was struggling. The tyres literally fell off the cliff. And I thought, well, you know what, I've got a good gap. Let's not push it on that final 2 laps. I realised the other guy span out. And you'll notice on turn 1, every time I was getting to turn 1, it was getting worse and worse. And he came off twice. That final 2 laps was really hard. But I thought, let's turn up the traction control. Let the traction control do some work, you know, rather than risk. I channeled my inner Kimi. I did. I wonder if there's anything in the Kimi book to support a race win. Let's just take a look. We've always got it here, the Kimi Haku. Is there anything? Is there anything here that we think might be relevant? Let's see. Here we are then. So I think today's bit, if you can see there, is on the back camera, the wheel camera. Satisfaction. This Kimi. This is always my favourite one, with Kimi with his tennis racket. Satisfaction. If you had a good fight and pulled the maximum out, you are happy. I mean that's me right now. That's my inner Kimi right there. I am happy. The car was good today and it went around and we are happy. So that was a challenge. Let's take a look at the replay before we do the next race, because we are going to do a few races, because why not? We already have. What's great about getting a 3rd is that we already have a banker lap on the board, so we can already try and, you know, build on that. And what's my favourite car in the game, OJD? I actually you know, I don't know yet. I quite like driving the Lamborghinis, honestly. I do like the Lamborghinis. The GR4 Lamborghini, GR3. They're both quite racy, and I like that. But there's a lot I haven't tried yet, so I can only really look at the cars I've tried, and I've only tried quite a limited selection. There's loads out there, but there's a start. I mean, I had a cracking start. Should be. I should say. See the start. Me up there in 6th place. See how we go. Shame there's no lights, traffic lights. Somebody behind me was rolling forward before the start, and you'll know when it's going to start because it will roll forward. Come on. There we go, that guy rolling forward there in 7th. Look at that, boom, off the line. Straight through past 2 cars. Oh, they got a dreadful start, didn't they, those 2? And before I know it, it's up in 3rd. Look at that on the start, from 6th to 3rd. So I was pretty pleased with that. And I was actually challenging this chap here. But he did actually give me some space, but not knowing, the car's very different in the game to the practice session. And you hit the brakes and you're not entirely certain. I don't want to slide off and take someone out. So sometimes, unless you're actually alongside and you know I've got some leeway, then it's not worth taking the risk there. And I had a bad corner somewhere there, but it's just a good old battle, isn't it? You know, given that how hard these cars are to drive. I mean, for me personally, this car is doesn't. I mean, for people who like power sliding a car around corners and drifting, I was trying to draft him here, but it's really hard to get extra speed on the car just through the corners. I just found that we gave each other space. We didn't touch there, by the way. It was very close, good racing throughout. But these 2 behind me, I could tell, were very racy, very hungry, and I just wanted to avoid them if I could. And you can see really close to me here. So I was aware that these guys just wanted to get on with it after their bad start. None of us are hanging around, but 1st place, look at him go. Wow. The BFR chap, to be fair, was holding me up a bit on this lap. I could have gone quicker here. I think if I'd got past him, I would have been safe in 2nd, and who knows where we could have ended at the end. But again, it's games like this, you know, if I'd had a good qualifying, been up front, I'd have had a surging start, and that would given me a nice little bit of breathing space. But you can see here, I've got the chap right behind me. I can see he's quite racy, and he dives by on the inside, and I think, do you know what, let's let him through. I just didn't want to get hit there. Little touch, but it wasn't too bad. And then that lost me drive through the corner, and you give up the next position as well. It's just one of those things, really. But what are we learning here? We're learning the fact that it's not all about, you know, holding that track position. It's about saying, hey, I'm going to just let the race pan out because there's a long race ahead. And as you eventually see, some of them make mistakes and spin off because these cars are so hard to drive on the limit. So we're all pushing quite hard, but I did see a gap there, as you can see on the inside. He left me a gap, but you know, it's so risky when you're racing with a driver that you don't know whether he's just going to turn in and chop you both up. So you think, I'm going to feed back in a bit sometimes to let's pull away from the guys behind rather than, you know, get caught up in a battle between us, which is only going to slow us down and cut us off from the leaders. And then I think those last 2 laps really, well, depending on how far you are from the car in front, you just want to bank it, don't you? That was a banking 3rd place. So just looking at some of your comments, because obviously I can't see them on the race. Somebody's spinning out there in front of me. Oh dear, somebody else spinning out in the background. Let's just see that again, actually, from someone else's perspective. What they're seeing. So we've got people spinning out. That guy's spinning off there. That guy's spinning off there. So it's been a bit of mayhem. Oh dear. Bit of mayhem at the back. So it's certainly interesting seeing everybody else racing around and just how challenging it is. I reckon there were quite a few crashes throughout the field in that race, so it'd be interesting to see how many people span off and where they were in terms of their positions. I mean, if you look at the field spread at the end of the 1st lap, very high. And again there, look, wheel on the grass for this guy, wheel on the grass there. Oh, calamity. Calamity in the midfield. I mean, it just shows. I mean, you're so glad to keep out of this mess, basically. Solid field of drivers. He's going off. He's going off, is he? Yeah, he's going off. There we go. Never had the braking right there at all, and you're not going to save it when you're that far out. So, and look at all the positions you lose. So you're better off braking a bit earlier, losing a couple of tenths, and look, you're on the marbles as it were around there. So low grip, and that's it. You're just trying too hard at that point, and you're falling back. It's good to see the action in the midfield, though, isn't it? I mean, while you're having your sensible race up front, it's all mayhem in the midfield. Look at this. Let's see if this guy's going to have a go. He looks racy, feels racy. He's going for it. Oh, that's it. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that don't feel good at all, does it? So look at that. You know, 8th to 17th, just with a few mistakes. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, viewers. I'm just relaxing. Relax. Relax. After my race, a little bit of Kimmy. So Gran Turismo, it's been all Gran Turismo on the channel lately. I know some people don't like it. They'd like to see me playing different games. They will soon. One of the main reasons for playing Gran Turismo for me has been getting my rank up. And once I get my rank up a bit more, then I know that whenever I come on Gran Turismo, I can race good people and race in good races and just see how I get on. Really, it's been quite this FIA championship's been quite. I guess I've been testing myself against different racers on different tracks, against different cars. You know, when I review games, I play many types of driving games. Sometimes we test the real cars. You know, it's a bit of a mix between everything, and I like to test myself just to see how well I'm getting on, and see what I can learn, and see where my base speed is. So as long as I'm within a couple of seconds of the top guys in general, then I know where the speed is, and I know that if you do, you know, thousands of laps, that will come to you, and you gradually understand the special techniques as well that people are using. And there are always special techniques. It's not just about the driving. It's about how you've got a lot of things set up and how you approach corners, and it's not all the same as real driving, because the physics are never 100% realistic anyway. There's always something different. There's always some special way of driving that people get away with, and so you've got all of that to handle. So oh, I tell you, that was a race, wasn't it? It was a race. So that was it, really. Quite pleased about that. Quite pleased about that. So I think what was interesting is the tyre wear in those last few laps, though, for everybody really was quite high. I think if you can hang in there to the end, it's all to play for in those last 2 laps. I really do think so. This chap was closing in on me. Let's just see if we can enter the next race in a moment. But this chap was coming up, and then he wasn't anymore at some point. I just went to see. Oh, he's right behind us. I was very aware. And that's it. That's where he made a mistake somewhere. And that's where pushing to catch up with people can... Oh, he got a penalty. So he got a penalty somewhere. Did something. And I got a penalty on these two. Oh, that don't look good, does it? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, bit of action. Wow, just shows it's tough. It gave us a bit of time there to get on with our battle. So having a little battle ahead there. It's good action from this viewpoint, isn't it? Didn't even notice, you know, like you say, people are yo-yoing behind you all the time. But that chap was really slowing us down. And yeah, closing up on the inside there. I think this was it. This was where I went for my move. I saw he went wide and thought, oh, you know what? Let's floor it on the inside. This is a good view, isn't it? He was getting good view of the action of the race, and that was it. Bit of a better run, and just had enough speed to cut it. Oh, brilliant! That could have been disaster. He could have decided to try and not brake and just nerf me off there, but he didn't. And that's it. I'm through, and then I've just got to keep my head together. And of course, tyres are wearing for everybody, so. Interesting seeing the race from somebody else's perspective. It's weird, isn't it? You know, when you look at it afterwards and you say, well, fourth place was really close behind, and yet when I was actually driving, didn't feel close at all. I felt that was done and dusted. I felt quite comfortable with even slowing down a bit. Oh, he spun off here. That was it. Oh, look at this action in the final lap. Action on the final lap then. And let's see. Anyone going to overtake anyone here? No lunge. Oh, they couldn't get past anyone, and that was that. Right, viewers, on to the next race then. Okay, sorry. I got asked then about the Big Mike's asking, is the Logitech G29 for PlayStation any good? The wheel is fine. Take the rubber bit on the pedals. If you can take it out, because it never used to have that on the G25, and I don't like the feeling of the brake pedal on the G29 at all. Personally, I would always go if you could afford it, I'd go for the Thrustmaster T300 is a great wheel. I really like Thrustmaster T300. I would go for that, and you can get different rims for it if you wanted to as well. Really feel the part. But we can relax a bit now. We've got the first race out of the way. I feel like, you know, whatever happens, job's done. And I feel like, you know, I can just relax now and enjoy the racing now. Getting that podium, those points on the board was really important. Driver 34 says a review of the game would be nice since it's changed a lot. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it would be if we had somebody to do it, but we're quite short-staffed at VVV at the moment. It's just me and Kevin. So we're focused on other things at the moment, but there's a lot of features and stuff we'd love to do, and we come up with it all the time, and we say, you know, I mean, we will look at this if we do our awards this year in terms of the support award, and I think it's always fair to say that Gran Turismo is going to be well in the running there, along with obviously iRacing and your race from racing experience and stuff like that. So we'll see whether that all happens in the next few weeks. But yeah, G29 is okay, but I would look at a T300. T300 is where I would go with a wheel, because the T300 comes with pedals that work well, do the job, and of course it's pretty much a T500 in many respects. But you know, you can buy different rims for it and really make it feel quite racy. Absolutely. Now, Rene's just mentioned there, T300 is a fantastic wheel. With the 599 is amazing, and I would recommend that actually. The 599 rim is one of my favourite rims. You know, this is the 599. I quite like the Sparco GT and the Sparco Rally rim. Um, but no, in terms of reviewing Gran Turismo, just for driver, is it's moved on a lot. I mean, it's better than it was, but it's still not Gran Turismo yet. It's the criticisms against the game still haven't been resolved in the sense that they've improved. The graphics were always great. They've added cars and tracks, but it's not got the Gran Turismo mode yet. It's not got the development. There's plenty of classic tracks that aren't in here. So when you look at it compared to, say, Gran Turismo 6, I think it's a real shame they didn't just release Gran Turismo 6 HD. Just release it as HD version on the PlayStation 4. Knowing, no, I mean, we'll see what happens with the future of Gran Turismo, but would really like to see a new proper Gran Turismo game where you start off in a crappy Japanese car and work your way up to some car you've never heard of, but you love that car and you tune it and you win races with it and you build that bond with it, and that's what Gran Turismo gave you. It showed you cars that weren't capable of winning, but you knew if you got a little bit of better suspension, better tyres, just little tweaks throughout the car, you could just get that tenth of seconds, which means you could compete and keep racing that car you love. For me, in the original Gran Turismo 1, 20 odd years ago, 22 years ago, oh my goodness, I was driving the Mitsubishi GTO was my car that I discovered. I didn't know, hadn't really seen one at that time. Liked it and powered it up to maximum and just decimated everybody. It was like a rocket around that game. But one of the big things about Gran Turismo was also the replays, and the replays on this game now, believe it or not as good as they've kind of moved on in other games, and Gran Turismo stayed the same. It's got very, very much what I call video game replays. I would like to see more proper TV replays, make it like TV coverage. But there's a lot to work on, and I think in the next generation you're going to see a big visual update, you're going to see a physics update, and you're going to see probably a lot more in the way of rain and water and particle effects and light and lots of subtle changes that's going to make it really amazing. GT Sport on the PS5 will move all of that forward in terms of race atmosphere, but like I say, racing in the rain, and hopefully then a lot more to do with audio. This week we've got the CES show in Las Vegas, and HyperX, who make these headphones that I quite like a lot, have created directional headphones. So obviously if your engine's in front of you, you'll hear your engine here or your engine here when you turn your head. So you'll have not only sounds around, but you'll be able to move your head and get all the different atmospheric sounds. So there's a lot of work going to go into audio. Hopefully the extra processing will help develop that. Audio, a lot of people think, is about if you record a bike and then you put that to the game, that's how it works. But in actual fact, it's much more complicated than that, because it's the physics system that has to determine how the audio note works. And if they change the physics, it changes the audio, breaks the audio, in other words. So it can be tricky making audio and game physics work together, and you need experienced people who really get it. And there's not many teams of people that seem to get it when it comes to audio. They get many aspects, sound effects, everything else, but getting that car audio just right depends on a certain point of view. Now, I'm going to be straight back before this race. Don't go anywhere. So back again, viewers, and we can see the race room has moved on a lot, hasn't it? So instead of B's and A's, it's BA's and an S in here as well. So this is going to be interesting. Wow, okay, this is going to be quite an interesting race room to go into, no doubt about it. Now, this guy seems quite racy. Go on then. John's just joined. Hi John. I got third place in my first race, John. So despite my struggles with the car, I managed to put in a consistent pace and get third place in the first race. So happy with that. And now I'm just going into races now and just enjoying it now. I've got some points on the board for this race, and you know, let's just see where we end up with better cars, better competition. So yes, Rene. Yeah, I heard about that. Don't quite know what what Polyphony were thinking when they turned down the race room guy, who clearly makes amazing audio. I mean, for me, Dirt Rally and Race from Racing Experience are two of the best games when it comes to audio. You know, Dave, I think it is at Codemasters, does a tremendous job for Codemasters. Wow, this is a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Goodness. Let's all have some space, guys. Qualifying's going to be a bit of a mare, isn't it? I mean, my goodness, look at it. It's madness. Go on then. Go on. Goodness me, get into the fight if you want to. Chap wants to get past, doesn't he? If he goes for the overtake, I'll let him by. He is. Go on him. Look at that. In the barrier. Oh, 2 off. Goodness me. Good experience there, though. Okay. Oh, he's just... Oh, brilliant. Thank you for that. Oh, well. Trying to make some space from the car in front is just impossible with people just flying in there, isn't it? You know, what can you do? We're all going to catch up with each other. Spoiled my lap anyway now. Qualifying, mate. Oh, don't do that. What is the point? What is the point in racing on a qualifying lap? Everybody's so desperate, aren't they? Just give it a bit of space. Oh well. Let's put a lap on the board then. Holding me up, so I'm just going to have to sit here and complete the lap behind him just to put a lap on the board. Bye bye. Let's get one more lap in maybe. And then pit. All that battling, he spins off, trying too hard. I nearly went off myself there. It's got a bit too much wheel spin despite the traction. It doesn't completely save you on a one, it's more of a guideline. See if we can just finish this lap. Second place. Results. Oh, see ya. Sorry, that was close. I probably came out quite loud on the mic then. I really thought that was going to be a massive crash then. Well, it's pretty close between the me and the guys behind, but the guy in the lead, wow, he's quick, isn't he? So now if we have a good start, should we aggressively defend for a laugh? I could aggressively defend, but I don't want to destroy my sportsmanship rating. Let that guy by. See, now some people don't. I've noticed that some people actually block people on their qualifying laps to prevent them qualifying. And I think that's quite a dirty way to race. So I always feel that if you're on a hot lap and someone gets out the way, that feels good. You know, fair enough. If they're quicker than you, fair enough. Otherwise it just causes bad vibes, you know. We don't want bad vibes, we want good vibes. That's why I always think when someone's on a qualifying lap, what's the point in overtaking them? You're damaging yourself, you're damaging your tyres, and you're not going to maximise your speed that way. Just give everybody space at the end of a lap. I've got this guy closing on me, he might be on a hot lap, you see, and I'm not. I'm on a trying to get to the start finishing line. Having said that, I don't really want anyone ahead of me now, so this guy's pretty quick behind me, and I've lost it. Let's go offline, and I've got an SR because my rear end lost it going too fast into the corner, and I've ruined my qualifying lap. Brilliant. Ah well, third place, I can't argue with that. Thought he was going to go a bit wide then, but doesn't matter. Finish our lap. I'm satisfied with where I am on the grid. I'm not going to beat the top two anyway. No, it's okay. Fourth place. Anywhere in the top six, I would have been perfectly happy. Bob Jenkins is the only person who's donated on this channel. So well done to Bob. Thanks for the donation. His name will be on here forever. There's lots of YouTubers who get tons of donations all the time. And I've only had one. So that's it. Bob will be on there forever, basically. Thanks, Bob. He got me a drink on Christmas Eve. I say thank you to Bob. I mean, goodness, when you watch some of these streamers out there, blimey, it's all happening on there. But, alas, we've had the one in a month, but it doesn't matter. I appreciate it all the same. It's very nice. Fourth place in this lobby. Oh, Mr. S-Class won't be happy all the way down there, will he? Okay, so it's a pretty close lobby though, I have to admit. Apart from the last couple of guys, it's oh, clearly two of them have come together. Oh, brilliant. We've had a donation. CM, thank you. CMB unit. Thank you very much for the donation. Your name will be on there forever. Appreciate it. Oh, that's really nice. Really appreciate it. In fact, it'll be you and Bob, probably. I'll just put them both on there. Oh, let's turn this up. Heroes, together again for Brands Hatch, a race of champions. We've seen Alan develop his skills from the beginnings in Tokyo, around the world, together again in the Gran Turismo Nations Cup. Brilliant, brilliant. So we love a bit of Gran Turismo over the top music. I am Itchy. I can't read it. My eyes are doing me in here. How much is the wheel? It's a Fanatic wheel, and this one is about. It's about 500. It's about 600 euros. 600 euros is what this one. 599. And yeah, so far so good. I mean, I'm supposed to be reviewing it. I'm in the process of reviewing it. I thought, what better way to review a wheel than to just play with it and test it all out and do everything for a solid period. So the review's coming up later this month, and I've tested it on F1 as well. And you know, it's. I mean, the rim is fantastic, really, and it's just solid CSL build and design. So nice. High flash. All the grid here lining up, and this is going to be quite a competitive race. I think this is going to be quite different to our last race. Okay, Kevin, you're now moderator on the chat, by the way. So just sort of let you know. Saves me. Brilliant. Are you AI Una ever after? I'd like to do a bit of. This is my Disney. Welcome to the new Disney movie featuring Dumbo and Mickey Mouse. All of your heroes are back for one more movie and lots of family fun. It's sort of 80s trailer voice, because they used to have sort of gravelly voice ones. The Terminator is back now. You know, it's that kind of sort of Metal Gear Solid. Okay, concentrate now. Damn. I didn't intend to do that, but let him by. That way it won't slow us down. Keep getting that corner wrong. Oh, he's done me. This is a tough lobby. Everybody's really quick and I'm struggling. Oh, he's going for the overtake, isn't he? Oh, he's done me. Let him through. Now you might be thinking, why not block some of these guys? Block them, block them. But in actual fact, going to give him space there. Sometimes you just got to know when to give space. It's taking me out. No, it's taking me out. And it's giving me a penalty. Why is it giving me a penalty? I don't understand. Ah, well, that's my race over. That's a shame, isn't it? Not really certain where I got the penalty there. He took me out, but there you go. That'll put me down some way into the field. I'll try and get my SR rating up again after that penalty earlier. Not really certain what I did wrong there though. I seemed to get hit from behind and gave me the penalty, but I did see Super GT taken out by a guy the other day and a similar thing happened, you know. I'm kind of struggling with the car for some reason at the moment. I don't know why. Don't know if I've damaged something or what. Car's a bit all over the place for some reason. I can't figure out whether I've done something. Rear end standing out everywhere. Just try and settle into a calm lap. Oh well, not one of my best races, viewers. But I feel okay. We've already had our podium, so my tyre wear is much higher this time than it was before as well, which is interesting. Oh well, there you go. You guys are getting so aggressive with each other, it's unbelievable. Let's just try and calm it now and settle into a run. These are hard tyres, but they really lose when they're sort of half worn. They're like, there's like no grip on them basically. They start with limited grip and they just go downhill, but the rear end is standing out a lot for me now, and a lot more than I was earlier, so I've just got to that guy got on the grass. Good, it's given us just a bit of free air that we needed. Chap here went off. Right, sending me wide, trying to get around him on the marbles. Not what we needed. So, yeah, it's possible people are using different types of things to control the cars, so I've just got to keep it sensible, I think, and again hope for the best. We're in quite a decent lobby, so I think knocking around, it's just a shame about the penalty and getting taken out. Otherwise, I think third place would have been in the offing again, and who knows. But these things happen, you know, the 4-second penalty, and 4 seconds is a long time in a race like this, you know, it's a lot of ground. I'm really struggling through that corner. I don't know why, but my car is definitely not handling right. I don't really have the time to change tyres, so I'm just going to have to stick the race out. Maybe that slide earlier damaged the tyres and the car just doesn't handle right now, but my laps, as you can see, have fallen right off of where they normally are. I'm going much slower than usual and the car's falling off. Oh, it's not handling right at all for me. I've got no grip. I've got no grip. This is really weird. I had a perfect race before where it all worked. I have big problems. Rear end is just coming out. Just let him go, just let him go. There's no point in pitting with 2 laps to go. Ah, what a frustrating race. I kind of felt it was all going okay until I got sort of smacked into, got a penalty, and then after that my tyres seem to have got damaged by the sliding, and I haven't been able to drive the car properly since. You know, I'm way slower than I should be. Cars so unpredictable. Can't do anything about it. Tyres are gone. Tyres are completely gone. Yeah, knackered my tyres spinning out like that. It's a bit of a bummer. It's almost impossible to dodge him then. Moving around a lot. Oh, this guy's going to take me out. Final lap. Nothing I can do. Doing my best. But tyres went early on for me in this race, and I think with all the action, best I could do. Disappointing finish, but there we go. I'm satisfied I did my best in that race. So what happened in that race? Well, I think when the guy hit me and it slid me off, it damaged my tyres. And then when I came back on the, got going again, the car just rear end was stepping out, and you're losing 3 seconds a lap basically. So, that was May says, are you allowed to adjust settings? Not in this race, but once you damage your tyres, because there's no pit stop changes, there's no way to do anything about it really. I mean, I think in hindsight, if you were aware that I was. I mean, basically, the guy who bashed into me not only damaged my tyres, but also gave me a penalty as well, which basically meant, my race was over at that point. But otherwise, it could have been another podium. But overall, I'm pleased with the results, and I'm pleased with my own performance with worn tyres. I learned a lot then about driving with worn tyres, how to handle it. Just going to check the old stats out and see where we are. So that will have taken a dip in my SRs, my SR rating's taken a bit of a dip from that, but overall some improvement. But we're going to run it again. We're going to run it again. We're going to just take a look at the replay of that, and we're just going to have a little look. CM, no, you know what? I can't stand it. When it's a car I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. You know, for me, it's doing the race today, doing what I need to do to try getting up there. It's a bit like the race we had the other day in the Toyota. I won the race, didn't run it again. I was like, do you know, I just didn't enjoy running that car at all. Oh, I've gone into the wrong thing. Oh. Okay. No. Let's get out. I'm pressing the wrong button here. Library, that's what I want. Replays. I just want to take a look at the moment there from my point of view, just to see if there was anything I missed in terms of. So I mean, a decent start, maybe not bad, not bad. The traction control 2 worked okay for me. Very difficult to know what to do in terms of traction control. You know, I moved it up to a 2 in the last race, but I didn't have the kind of wear that I had in the tyres in this race. I mean, the tyres were gone, so really I was kind of hoping on people crashing. But the higher you get in the ranks, less people seem to crash. So let's see. So start-wise, let's just move on. Actually, I just want to get to the yellow car behind me situation. So it would have been on this lap, I think. Now I let him by because I said to you guys at the time, just let people by when they want to race. You know, he's got the inside, he's going to brake late, and that means you're going to be on the outside taken out because he's unlikely he was going to make that corner. Gave him space. I still got a bit of a knock, I think, but then I'm on the inside and I'm thinking, well look, there's no overtaking here, and yeah, I've got a bit of a knock there. There was no way through there. It's pointless. And let's see if this is the point when he goes for a lunge and just decides to take me out. So I just don't see why I got a penalty there. I don't see what, but that destroyed my tyres. Let's just take a look at it from so I'm going around and doing my lap, and let's just see when we get the takeout. So I'm just minding my business at this stage, and boom, that was it, taken out, and boom again. I don't see how the penalty system decided to penalise me. It's very strange, very strange. I mean, I think he was trying to take me out entirely there. That was the so just see from his point of view in car. I mean, there is no way through there. I was just bashing me out the way, basically. Right, okay, all right. Well, there you go. There you go. A little bit funny on the internet connection there, wasn't it? But there you have it. And that's it then. From that point on, my tyres were destroyed, and well, what can you say? It's all over. Oh, wait a minute, we've had another donation. Oh, brilliant. John, thank you, John. I never even saw the donation come up. Sorry, I was concentrating at the time. Oh, brilliant. Really appreciate it. You know, we're going to have to fix this now because you guys have donated. So, wait a minute now. Let's get this sorted for you guys. See, donations are like buses. You wait ages and then 3 come along at once. let's just fix this, and then that way where are we? I'm just going to fix it, but I just need to. I'm not an expert on this whole Streamlabs thing. It's right now. Obviously, CM. I'm going to make sure you and John and Bob are all on that chat. I don't know how to do it offhand, because there's a way that you can add a bit more to it, but it's frustrating. I just don't know how to do it. I'm so backward on internet stuff. You know, this streaming thing. It's so complicated. You know, when you first set it up, you think, oh, streaming's going to be easy, and then you've got to learn about this OBS thing and Streamlabs and other stuff and programs and widgets, and oh, it's just drama and stress. And I'm just trying to find out. Right, I will find out this. I will find out this. How to do this on events when I'm not streaming, and I'll figure it out. And then that way, CM and John, you'll be on there. I'll fix that, and Bob, you know, and I'll fix that and figure out how to change the event list. Now, what's the time? It's nearly time for another race, viewers. Goodness me, it's been a good couple of races though. It's been good progress. I mean, you know, we didn't win that race, but we got to the end in one piece, and you know, 9th out of 19. That's not terrible given the drama we had, given being taken out and a penalty. I'm going to save that one though, because I think that's a really good example for Gran Turismo to look at as to what happened there. Oh goodness me, someone had some action there, didn't they? What was that? Oh blimey, that's no good, is it? That's not good at all. Ouch. Oh dear. I like the way he reversed almost onto a racing line. No, I can't figure it out. I will figure it out though. I will figure it out, guys, and I'll come back to you on that and figure out why. According to my settings, I've already got it set up right, but I'm a noob when it comes to all of this stuff. So leave that with me. Leave that with me, CM, Bob and John. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. And right, let's get stuck in. So yeah, I can't stand these cars, guys. I can't stand these cars. Let's get out of that. So that chap had a bit of a bumpy race, didn't he? Afterwards, probably his tyres were destroyed as well after the incident, and that's what happens. You just end up with two cars with damaged tyres. You know, if you see a gap, you go for it, but you've always got to just make sure that the other driver is aware, and you know, otherwise you're just going to end up with. If I feel that I'm overtaking someone and the other driver isn't aware, sometimes I'll just play it safe and say, you know, it's not worth it, because you're just going to end up. He's going to crash into you. He doesn't know you're there. And then, you know, boom, Let's get our points. That's what it's worth. Bit of experience. And Bob's your uncle, working up those stats. Building up the car collection and the cash collection as well. Got 1 million. I've been working my way through the campaign. So I've been doing the driving school. I did all of this. So I completed all the driving school recently, and you make good money out of that. That's how I paid for the McLaren the other day, and now I'm going through the circuit experience, and just every now and again I'm just working on this and doing some of the. I'm saving the Nordschleife for the next race, because the next race is on the Nordschleife, so I figured, well, why not learn it on the circuit experience when the time comes. I'm not very good at the Nordschleife. It's one of, again, a weak circuit, so these next 2 races are my weakest. But that's race entry time again. And I'll just catch up some of your comments there as well. Sorry about that, guys, I was miles away then. So John, is where our donating kills the stream? No, the donation should be fine. The stream seems to be working fine. Sound showers here. Hello, Tom. Hello, Tom. Hope you're enjoying your new alarm clock. Let's see. Yeah, it does. CM Streamlabs is not straightforward. OBS is not straightforward. The streaming software that the streamers use, it's very complicated. It takes time, lots of tweaks, and it's something that takes many months to. You're learning tweaks all the time, you know, into layout of cameras. You need to put whole days into just figuring out how am I going to lay my cameras out, and it's like setting these multiple cameras up, and how powerful is my PC. And soon I'm going to stream PC games as well. I just need to figure out how that's going to work in terms of resource. So we'll enter the next race again. Next race in a few minutes. So let's see. Wombat says there was madness in my race. Well, I'm not, you know, I tell you, 10th to 5th, way 13, 14. That's a shame, you know. It's a shame when somebody smashes into you, takes you out. I mean, a bit like I had then, you know. Luckily, I was able to keep going. But like you say, after the crash, my tyres were destroyed, so there wasn't much I could do then. Gillingham, Hamgus. Very joking, Gil. Evening to you, sir. Sound shower's already dead every morning. Absolutely. I supplied a sound shower with a Fist of the North Star alarm clock that beats you up every morning. So basically, very cool. You've got a little tester on the front there, Tom, where you can test the different characters, how they decide to shout at you in the morning. And yeah, I mean, it's yeah, this track and this car is a hard combination. You know, when I was practicing yesterday, you know, I was really struggling with it. Some cars really work for me. Like if we're doing formula cars or grippy cars or cars that use applied grip, I'm fine. When it comes to cars that require sliding around corners, I'm not fine. It's just not my style. And usually the race will come back to me. So I'll be slow in the first sort of 3 laps, 4 laps, but then as their tyres wear, because they've been sliding and I haven't, gradually those last 2 laps I can pick up a few places, and that's where it all is. Everyone loves being shouted at in the morning. That's good, Tom. That's good. You know, I've supplied you with something that will enrich your life. You know, that's the thing. Of course, we had all the drama from you know, Formula 1 this weekend, and Bernie is back here. Here is Bernie. You can see him in the other camera there. There he is. There's Bernie, and he's back. He's been keeping me company here. So Bernie, thanks for sorting out the FIA stuff for us. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's you know, there's a brown paper bag. There you go. Brilliant. So that's all sorted for Bernie, and he's going to be off now. So that's Bernie for today. And of course, like you say, to keep us company as well. We always have, ever through ups and downs, we always have the wise words of Kimi Räikkönen to keep us together. I'm actually quite looking forward to the Formula 1 season this year. And I'm looking forward to streaming during the Formula 1 season. I have considered streaming while watching a Grand Prix race, so I can give my live opinions on conspiracy theories as we watch. I have many conspiracy theories when it comes to Formula One, because Formula One is, there's the bit that you see, and then there's the bit that you don't. Then there's the coincidences as well that happen. Coincidences which happen. Corey, hi Corey, new subscriber there, and Simba Unit, a challenger appears, of course, appreciate that, and John, and WRC541 has followed, and Maya as well. Thanks a lot for following. Yeah, we're getting more followers now on Twitch, and at some point I'm deciding whether we're going to stream on a single format or two. It depends on how you guys like watching. The stream is actually, I've noticed, slightly better streaming quality on Twitch than it is on YouTube, which is interesting. But it's still irrelevant, but interesting. I'm just going to have a little rest for a moment while I have a swig of tea just to chill out. I'm so tired. I don't know why, but I've got like really bad hay fever at the moment. I don't know why. It's the wrong time of year to get hay fever, but I woke up today feeling terrible. Hay fever is killing me. Not long to go for real F1, March 15th, 17th, absolutely not long now. Looking forward, obviously the car announcements will start happening in the next few weeks, and reveals, of course, in February. Any other motorsport I'm looking forward to? It depends really, not so much this year. I mean, I think, generally speaking, I'm watching less and less these days, because MotoGP I always used to watch, but since that went on BT Sports, I've just not, that's it, it's on BT Sports. I'm not going to pay for football just to watch the MotoGP. It's the same with Formula One to an extent. I mean, it's frustrating the way it's not on television now. It's only on Sky, and you have to subsidise the football to watch Formula One, which I think is completely wrong. It's a real shame that Sky and F1 are doing it that way. Also, when you look at it, Sky has about 2.5 million viewers on F1 in the UK, compared to up to 12 million on the BBC. When Jensen won his championship, I mean, how the audience has fallen. I don't know why anyone even bothers sponsoring Formula One now. I don't see in the UK, it's not even worth it. It's so the value of F1 has changed. And obviously we've seen today that Silverstone's being relayed. But it's felt that Silverstone really considers the MotoGP more important than the Formula One. John, yeah, it's funny. The grass is still growing at this time of year when it normally wouldn't be. It's a very warm winter, so very mild. And yeah, hay fever is killing me at the moment. I feel dreadful. Yesterday I was so tired doing my practice. But you've got to get on here. You've got to do the stream. You've got to fight through and do the racing. Boise, thoughts on change at Ferrari? It's very difficult to know from the outside. I think Ferrari needs some stability. Arriva Bene was a decent man to speak to, but how was he as a manager? How was he as a boss? How was he with people? We don't really know that. So I think that when the Marchioni passed away last year, Ferrari probably was in turmoil, but it didn't help that Vettel lost his head in a few races. I mean, losing that German Grand Prix was unnecessary. That took all the pressure off Lewis, and when you take pressure off a driver, there's less nerves, they can relax more. That means better lap times. It helps Lewis. But again, the spin at Suzuka, the spin at Monza, these were beginners' errors. Like you see me saying when to overtake and when not. These were opportunities that were not opportunities. There's no point overtaking in those parts of racetrack. Leave it one more lap, you'll get past. A race is long, and he lost his head. So we'll have to see if Vettel can get his head back this year. But it's going to be challenging because he's got a teammate in Charles Leclerc that's super quick. So Ferrari's an unknown possibility this year. But if you have an engineer who's good with people, he can bring the team together. He's got the next 3 months to to try and structure something. You know, who knows what Ferrari can bring and what technology they've been working on. Quite interested to see what Renault do with their engine. You know, they believe they found, McLaren saying they found lots of kilowatts, you know, but we'll wait and see. I mean, I think if Renault can make a step forward on their engine, I'd like to see, and their chassis, I'd like to see them in the mix. And Red Bull, the complete unknown. Right, I have 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. I will be straight back, and then we'll have race 3. So. Okay, back again, viewers, and now time to put the gloves on. Here we go. Oh goodness me, look at this lobby I'm in now. Pure A's and S's. Well, Boo Boo Racing, I've seen him before, and Racing Apex, and oh goodness me. Wow, okay. Well, it's all to play for, isn't it? It's all to play for. Tyler says, what about Vettel and Leclerc? Will Vettel take him as a competitor or someone that he can tutor? He'll take him as a competitor. Formula 1 drivers don't tutor each other. He'd be happy to see Leclerc fall off the track at turn 1 and never come back again. No driver ever tutors another driver. Just doesn't happen like that in Formula 1. You're in it. Formula 1 isn't a place where you learn. I know over recent years it's been about, oh, he needs to learn, he needs to learn. No, Formula 1 is the place where the top drivers compete. It's not a place where you learn. If you're still learning, do another sport where it doesn't cost millions and millions and millions to run the car. But what's happening now is there is this obsession with getting younger and younger and younger drivers. Like, your youth matters as a stat. Oh, youngest driver ever to turn a steering wheel. I mean, it's a useless stat, really. You know, I think that's the thing about younger Formula 1 drivers is I don't really care. They've got no star appeal because they've not done anything. It's like, oh, here's a new driver. You know, it's not done anything yet. I mean, Formula 1 drivers when I was younger were much older. They were all in their 30s. They'd all done several types of motorsport, you know, and they were all well established. You know, Formula 1 meant you had made it. You were a respected driver when you got there to an extent. But these days, it's about promoting young kids from academies straight into top cars, and that means they've got no sort of star appeal, if you like, no presence. It's like, great, let's see if you're good then. You know, I'm not gonna. It's kind of like that in a way. CM watching IndyCar. I would like to watch IndyCar if I had an IndyCar stream. I obviously will watch the Indy 500 because Fernando. Okay, so here we are, qualifying again then. Epic Man, the boss, in front of us. But is he the boss or not? We're going to wait and see. It's all going to happen now, isn't it? Expert lobby of drivers pushing hard at Brands Hatch. A circuit I love in a car I can't stand. I mean, I wonder what it's like driving this with a controller, whether I might even be better with a controller than I am with a wheel on this particular car, purely because of the opposite lock nature of the car. You can do an instant opposite lock, you see, with a controller, and you can't with a wheel. That was a bit of a shame, wasn't it? He stormed into that corner then. Oh, I shifted too early then. That's a shame. Use speed all the way down here now. Yeah, that's 3/10 there through that. Now. Oh, trying to get out of his way. Ah, sorry about that. Oh, fuck. Couldn't do anything about it. Tried to get out of his way. Oh, blimey. Goodness me, everybody's going crazy here. Oh, bloody hell. Just trying to get back to the pits. Oh, well, that's my SR down anyway, so doesn't matter. Oh, my car's damaged anyway. Well, that's qualifying done. I don't think there's any point in me getting out again now. I've just got a damaged car now. I was trying to pull off and then he just decided to go off the racing line and hit me there. I don't know. He completely misread the situation. Oh well, let's just go for it then. Go on then. Let's just see if we can let's see if we can get improve a bit on here, and I don't think we're going to be able to make any space from people behind us, because I find every time I try and make space somebody just storms up behind us, and then we've got somebody behind us trying to overtake us basically. A little bit of space there. Alright, hopefully that's enough space. Might see if we can put in a good lap. Terrible, terrible first corner. Got it all wrong. Nah. Ah, it's gone. It's gone. The flow's gone now. I think the frustration of the few accidents I had a moment ago have sort of disrupted my session, really. Oh well. Let's cruise around. 5th place again. Oh. slowing down too much, wasn't he? Oh well, it's giving him a boost. No, one opportunity, fell through, and that was it basically. I think we could have improved on that final lap had we not had anyone in the way, but it's the funny thing with this is, you know, you just got to make the best of it really in qualifying. Goodness. Let's see how we're getting on here. And good to see a whole bunch of you on 10 people on Twitch now. Get in there. We were at 1 viewer on Twitch and we're building every time. Game Buddy. Hi Game Buddy. Which one of your designs? Jeff saying you're doing good. I've managed to get a podium already, Jeff. So we've had a podium. I think here 7th place. It's a tough lobby. Let's just do the best we can in this race. Racing Apex says bias to front. Oh, brilliant, Racing Apex. Okay. Bias to front. Let's take a look, shall we? I don't think we've actually got time to change it on the first lap now. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best. Oh. I'm resisting. Heroes together again for the 3rd time tonight on the grid. Alan returns and attempts to win the Gran Turismo Nations Cup. Brilliant, brilliant. Love a bit of Gran Turismo intro. You just can't get enough of that. It's so heroic. Game Buddy, you'll finish 4th. Thanks, Game Buddy. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Dun 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 dun. Bit of music, get us going. No 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 no. Get on the grid. AOI says, have you done any adjustments to your car since yesterday? By the way, hello, hello. No, no, nothing since yesterday. This is not a car or track combination I'm good at. No, no, the track, I love Brands Hatch. Actually, in the right car, I can be quite handy around this circuit. But this is going to be, fire. There's going to be action, into turn 1. Lots of action. Needs a bit of music just to get it going. And you guys have got wheel cam slightly moved. There we go. Just put it in place there. There we are. Lovely. Keeps moving. Can't do anything with the wheel cam at the moment. feet are freezing though, so I should warm them up really. I need like a hot water bottle just to warm my feet up. They get cold because the pedals are solid metal. And so my feet just get really cold because it's a bit chilly today as well. So try and warm them up a bit. Warm up the feet. Help circulation. Otherwise it'll be like Nigel Mansell coming out of the cockpit of Monaco in '92. Dead. So 20 cars in this race. Big field. All A and S ranked racers. Midfield grid start. This is the worst. Okay. Let's just hope we get a good start. Not the best start. I shifted into second on turn 1 by accident and then lost 2 places. So I don't know how we're all making it through here. This is madness. Owen's just saying traction control killing it. It is, but it's also quite helpful. There's a lot of wheel spin on this car, and it just means I can concentrate on other areas. It's not a car I'm good at or comfortable with, so really these races are just hanging in there. It does help with tyre preservation though. I've decided to defend a bit there. I just want to try and hold this position if I can for the moment, but cool, he got a good run there, didn't he? Let's let him through. Can't find a way past at the moment again. It's funny, people come up on you really quickly and then you think they're going to fly away down the road and suddenly you're just stuck behind them. Oh, this looks risky, doesn't it? This looks risky. It's a bit dodgy moving right on the braking point there, but oh, this is looking risky. Everyone's being sensible through the corner, that's good. But we're losing a lot of time on those behind us. Oh, yes, please. Tyres are suddenly starting to go already. Terrible corner, terrible. Come on, lost a lot of speed there, as did they. Tyres are going. Couldn't put my foot down at all then. Struggling, the tyres are going. Tough. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. I should have cruised it. Defending my position now all the way. lost the concentration for a moment, and that's it, you spin. Disappointing with 5th in the end, after should have been 4th, but I had a slight loss in concentration there. I was looking at something and suddenly I realised, oh, I'm too late for my braking, and that was it. There was no tyres left, which was a bit of a pain, but we were a long way behind the first 3. Look at them. They were a long way down the road, but they know something we don't in terms of how to drive the car, that's for sure. Disappointing in the end. Disappointing. Should have been 4th place there. I'd have been happy with 4th. But like you say, you get one wheel on the grass and it's all over basically. But another 1100 points, so would have been a bit higher. Would have been a bit 1200. That's what I needed to achieve in this race. Disappointed. I'm disappointed, viewers, with that race. Disappointed myself making that mistake on the final 2 corners. Didn't need to do that at all. Normally I don't on the final lap. I cruise the final lap. I don't know what went through my head then. Just lost concentration. Oh, it's hard. It's hard because, you know, I'm racing drivers who are technically much quicker than me over a single lap. But, you know, alas, it wasn't to be in that race. So a bit frustrating. But we've gone up a little bit in the points. 3-2-2-1. I don't know where that's going to leave us in the scheme of things, but not where we need to be, for sure, on this particular race. Let's have a quick look. Let's see. The data. So let's just see where that leaves things. I mean, it's improved things a bit, hasn't it? But not where we need to be. The good news is that my driver rank has recovered after the bit of a disaster earlier. But shall we do one more for the road? I think we'll do one more race, viewers, tonight. Why not? Why not? It's tense and it's challenging, but it's worth doing for experience purposes. Disappointed with that though. That 4th place would have probably done me actually. That is a bit of a pain. So we'll see where that's going to leave us. Points wise, not good enough, fortunately. Yeah, we're not quite where we need to be. So that would... So it does mean an improvement, but still not where we want to be. That was a bit of a frustrating one at the end, I have to say. Just lost a bit of concentration. Just that moment, I was thinking about something, not the race. There's something else popped in my head, and then I realised, oh, I've got to be braking, and that was it. Oh, it just shows you've always got to have that concentration, haven't you? My feet are freezing. I have to warm them up for a minute. I'm enjoying it though. I'm actually enjoying the type of racing. It's so difficult driving these cars that you can see everyone's on edge really. And there was a big gap between the top 3 then and everyone else, wasn't there, in that race? They clearly know something we don't in terms of how to get the most out of this car, because they are in a different car, frankly. I mean, they're miles down the road, and there are special techniques if you know what you're doing, but I don't know the special techniques yet. And racing gamers, when they find them, they're not likely to tell anyone either. And that's funny little things. I mean, it's like on Project Gotham Racing 3 years ago. You know, if you pressed a handbrake when you shifted up, you went faster. It's just little things like that that make you that not only make a fast driver faster. And that is that. It's been quite a long stream tonight, hasn't it? Quite a long one, but I've enjoyed it so far. It's been good having these races, and yeah, just one of those things, isn't it? Just one of those things where you have to. Should I do one more, or am I a bit tired to do one more? I don't know. Let's have a look how long we got to decide until entry period starts. We've got a few minutes yet to decide on what we want to do. Ah, tell you what, he who waits wins. I tell you, well, it was a funny one there. I was quite comfortable with a 3-second gap. But did you see how the tyres, everybody's tyres went? So even though I was going slower, they were going slower. And those last couple of laps, everybody's tyres really fall off. I mean, lap 7, if you're in a position in lap 7 and your tyres are slightly better than somebody else's, I mean, you can really make the most out of it, basically. I mean, you'll be in a different place if you can get your tyres working. I mean, you can see tyre wear is quite high, as is fuel consumption. If you had enough time in the bag to have a pit stop, you're really in good shape, because your lap fall off is so heavy when it comes to someone with good tyres. The car is literally a different car at the beginning to the end. I mean, you're braking, you know, all over the place, hanging in gears and everything. It's really challenging. Right, I'm going to have a little break for a few minutes. I'm going to enter into this race, viewers, and then we'll have one more race today, just to conclude our Nations Cup races today. Pleased with the 3rd place earlier, disappointed with the 5th then, should have been a 4th. Don't think I've got any more in the tank, as it were. You know, really like not liking this car. So again, I think it's just one more consistent run, and you know, just see where we end up. Let the chips fall where they may. What have we had? We've had a 3rd, a 9th, and a 5th. Let's see if we can finish on something better. This countdown done. Or shall I call it a day? I don't know. I'm going to have a quick break. I'll be straight back, viewers. Hello viewers. Let's see how we get on then. Final race for tonight. This has been a really challenging race tonight. It's pushing me quite hard. I seem to have a problem. Oh, people are chatting and it's not working. I'm going to reset the chat here. So unfortunately some of the chats disappeared for me, guys. What setting are you using on the feed in slow corners? Feedback, sorry, I get horrible shadow in slow corners. I turned down the force feedback because what you're feeling is the grip loss, and it's really quite awkward in a wheel, but it's actually quite realistic. It's actually quite a realistic feeling. Marek says, hi mate, good luck in the final race. For some reason, guys, my chat isn't working. Oh, here we go, it's working again now. TC off mediums, just live dangerously. I might turn traction control off, but you can't change the tyres, unfortunately. It is literally a case of dealing with what you've got, basically, in this. So everyone's on hard tyres in this race. No setup changes, and that's kind of what makes it even, is the fact that we've all got a very similar car. It's wallowy. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't work very well in general. It's a bit all over the place. We're gonna work on this. I'm gonna bring it together one more time. So one more time, one more race. The gloves go on. Then we're ready to drive. Matt MGS, good racing, Alan, over the last 2 weeks. Thank you. Just a question there, actually, that was my first mistake, I think, properly in a race since I've started. So there you go. At least I won't make the same mistake this time for sure. I should have just brought it home then, rather than been thinking about something else. Let's see. We've got new followers as well. Fubar's followed on Twitch. Thank you, Fubar. Let's see. So settings wise, there's really not much you can do. Unfortunately, it's literally just hard tyres, all that's available, and there's not really much I can do at this stage. I'm struggling a bit out of a couple of corners in particular. The second to last corner I'm struggling with, those last couple of corners. CM's back, you're off. Thanks, CM. Lancer Cup race, not from the list. Oh, good luck in your sim race, CM. Thank you for supporting the stream. Appreciate it. And I'll get the name on there as well. Matt saying, I think you might play some stuff like... Oh, I'm going to be playing lots of different racing games. The reason why I've been on Gran Turismo so much recently is simply because I want to get my rank up, and I've just decided, let's spend a month, while there's no other racing games out, let's spend a month on Gran Turismo, you know, testing this wheel and just getting the rank up. Once my rank gets up a little bit more, we're nearly there now, I just wanted to get up to an A+, then I'm happy with where I am. You know, when I'm coming in last place in races, then I know I've got as far as I can get. Whereas right now, I'm still knocking around the fast end of the grid. Maybe not in this race, but in most races. So, you know, I'm just going to work my way up until I find my limit. But the good news is that, you know, I've done okay. I've done okay, and it's good to still know that you can if I had more time to do this more days of the week, I would do a lot more racing on Gran Turismo. But I'm going to be doing some other sims as well. So my plan is to get back on the PC, and we'll see. I might do some iRacing. I might do some R-Factor. We'll wait and see on that. We'll wait and see. It depends what the year throws at us. So we've got quite a bit of rally coming as well. Mark here as well. Hi, Mark. We've got quite a bit of rallying coming this year. You know, we might be doing some dirt rally. I don't know. We might be doing some WRC if that ever happens. And there's plenty of other games on the release schedule. I might be doing a bit of Grand Tour racing in the next week or so. I don't know. We'll wait and see. So it's very much a case of waiting and seeing at the moment. This is the corner I struggle with here. I've not found a good line. I'm just much slower than everyone else through that corner, and I just can't find the line. John saying, can't wait to hear my thoughts on the Grand Tour game. Yeah, we'll wait and see. I mean, we contacted them, and you know, they just sort of forgot about us basically, and they were back in touch last week, and still haven't sent us review copies to work with or anything like that. So, you know, we'll see if yeah, so we'll see what the Grand Tour's like. There's also an arcade racer coming out. I know Kevin's covered it a few times. I can't quite remember what it's called, but it looks pretty interesting. I quite like a bit of random arcade racing. And I will be doing more retro content. There'll be plenty of retro. Just a bit disorganised at the moment. Once I get into an organised structure, I don't know if I'm going to be doing these Nations Cup races all the time. I'm just doing it this once, because the rest of the year I might select particular Nations Cup races rather than doing all of them, because I'll be working on other games and streams instead. Not long now to the race, and then we do it all again, throwing ourselves back into the stress, the melting pot of... you really damage your tyres, don't you, with the traction control off. I mean, it is quicker with traction control off, but it's just, you can hear those tyres spinning up. Yeah, thanks, Owen. It's I'm losing the speed on the way in, and so then I'm losing the speed on the exit. My line's wrong through the corner, and it's something that I won't get the chance to practice now, because the game's going to cut out any second now. So. There we go. Tim just got home, watching while cooking dinner. What are the results so far? Well, Tim, we had a third place podium in the first race. Now we've been ranked with better players, not as good in this lobby as they were in the last lobby. because we got a couple of Bs in here as well. But then we got a, what did we get? Then we got a ninth place, got taken out, and then a 5th place. I span on the final lap, should have been 4th, and now we're in our final race now. So in this race now, again, some good races again. So we're going to see where we get on. Again, a clean race is what I'm looking for here. Given our results so far, qualifying in the top 10 is obviously the objective. Qualified in, what have we been, like 5th, 6th, 7th in qualifying, something like that, 6th and 7th. And I think again here we're looking at 6th or 7th in qualifying. And then just keeping it calm during the race. There's been a lot of incidents in the race, so it's been a packed stream of action and drama and stress and pressure. But the good news is we're ranking up quite well actually today, and you know, if I had 5 days like this, I would rank up to A+ on my ranking. So you know, that's saying something. You know, we've not down ranked yet. A big part of ranking up in this game is that the game rates your sportsmanship rating quite highly. I'd like to think that I'm a decent sportsman, so bit of warm up. We're going to try a little bit of lap with traction control off in the qualifying, which we haven't done yet, have we? So let's be a little bit more experimental in this final race, just to see if it helps or not. But we'll lose traction control in the race, likely because it has been working well for us. Goodness me, it's amazing when you're driving the car like this and then you do the final 2 laps where it's just grip is completely gone and it's a different car. Terrible. Terrible corner. Terrible corner. I've just got my bogey corner for sure. So, Marek, only 6 weeks to Dirt Rally 2. I hope you do some live streams from it. I intend to. We'll definitely have a look at Dirt Rally, and I'll have a chat with Kevin. Okay, so we'll see how we get on in this lobby. I mean, obviously we're with all competent drivers now. Fubar's here. Hi Alan, good luck. Really enjoying your streams. Thank you, Fubar. Really appreciate it. So again, good races in this lobby. So I think we're going to have another competitive race, no doubt about it. You have to remember that a ranking beside someone's name doesn't represent how good they are as a driver. I mean, it's like me when I started just a few weeks ago as a D, and then I'm beating some of the A's and B's, and people think, oh, you've been beaten by a D driver. Yeah, but that's just because I haven't got my rank to where it should be yet. You know, so it's I've just been burning my tyres, haven't I? Just for those first few corners. But do you know what? The way everyone's racing and qualifying, I honestly can't bother to hold back now. You can see these guys right behind me are so racy. They're all just going to get in the way as soon as you try and make some space to the car in front. Nobody quite understands the concept of make some space. Oh dear, look at that, he's all over the shop. I was trying to give myself some space, but I guess that chap was as well, so let's see how we get on with the space we have. Got that all wrong then. I don't know why the back end stood out, but there you go. I was going 1 mile an hour too fast probably. That's ruined this lap. So we're in a bit of trouble this time, feeling. Not good enough. And I think we lost all that time on this corner. That's where I think we lost it. Because then you lose like half a second down the straight, and that would probably have put us up on the front row. Alright then, off we go then. Let's let this guy bite. To put in a better lap this time, don't we? If we can. That is not where we want to start the race. For some reason my internet seems to be quite low, my connection to this I don't know if there's something wrong with my internet or what, but I seem to have a low internet connection. These guys are going so slowly. This guy behind me is going to get in my way, and I just don't want another car in my way. Oh, this is a disaster for qualifying. I'm sorry, mate. I'm starting my lap now. Shifted too early. Got wheel spin, that threw me. Damn, damn, damn. It's the end of this lap. This guy's right in my way now. There's no chance of getting a good lap. I have to brake earlier to avoid him now. Darn, darn, darn. 7th place on the grid. This is not where I wanted to be. There's nothing I can do though. It's not happened to me. It's not happened for me in qualifying in terms of finding track position today. Don't get much of a tow. Right in the way. Right in the way. I'm having to back off. Just let me through. Let me through. Oh, forget it. Can't do anything about it, can I now? It's just... Quali's over. Oh, we got not enough time to get back to the pit to change and get out again. Still an overtake. Can we get an overtake? Oh my goodness me. It's all action. But at least we kept control of the car. I think that's the thing that I'm pleased about. Look at him, he's on the grass. Let's brake. We're only going to hurt our driver rating. There he goes. Action at the end of qualifying. 9th place on the grid. No clear lap. What a disaster for me in quali. There's no point, is there? There's no point. These tyres are knackered. If you don't do your lap on the first lap, there's really no point. So that's it. We're going to start near the back of the grid, which is a bit of a frustration. I was 1.1 seconds off my... Oh, it's not pitted for new tyres. Oh, that's that. Oh, well. Oh, the thing you want. Evening and chat. I want to see some Dirt 2 content as well. I don't have Dirt 2 set up. That's the problem. That would mean setting up a PS3 or something. So probably not Dirt 2. But we will get Dirt Rally content on the channel. We will have some Colin McRae Rally on the PlayStation. and we're going to have a sort of a retro day. So how I'm going to set it is every week we're going to have a retro day. Jeff says points and driver rating. That is the objective now, viewers. 9th place on the grid. We didn't have a clear lap, and it just happens like that sometimes. You know, sometimes you get a clear lap and you put in a great lap straight away. Ironically, my lap for my first race would have put me 3rd on the grid, so that would have been a different scenario. But you know, it's not terrible, is it? Good drivers in the room. 17 cars. Everyone wants to have a clean race. Good. Cabad, hello, and the thing you want, Dirt Rally 2.0. Sorry, Dirt Rally 2.0. Yes, there's going to be some Dirt Rally 2.0. So once we get into the year and all the new games start coming in, at least now I can preview them. But sometimes we're not allowed to stream them until they're actually released. So the previews will likely still be videos. And then once the launch comes, then we can do the streams. It all depends on the publisher, really. Oh, here we go. Where's the mouse? Where's the mouse gone? Oh. Oh. Oh, blimey. There it is. Ah, we've nearly missed it. Awesome. Right, I'll be straight back. No, I won't. I'll have to deal with it now. Right. Right. We want a good start. We want to get through. We want action. Action, viewers. Action. We're going to keep battling all the way. All the way. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. Show how it's done. From the midfield. No. I was quick in my McLaren the other day. If any of you saw that race, that was a good race in the McLaren. 18th to 3rd on the grid, can't argue with that. I don't actually know how to flash my lights and do that sort of stuff. I've got to figure it all out on the wheel. I should change all my settings. I've got indicators. Oh, oh dear, look how far back I am now. Right near the back on the times. Look how close the times are. I mean, let's face it. You know, I can tell you the difference between first and last is like 1 or 2 corners. There's not much in it. he's done me. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, I made a mistake. That was a bit unusual there. I lost concentration on something. I didn't know quite what I did wrong there, but I must have decelerated into third too quickly and locked up the gears. Oh, that's a shame. That's a podium gone then. Oh, I hate this car. I'll just be glad when it's done, I tell you. It's I just can't drive it. Doing my best though.
That was a great counter. You must be one genius of a driver. You've got to teach me.
Everybody like overtakes me coming out of this corner. I just don't know how to do it, basically. I just don't know what you're supposed to do there. So I'm sort of losing places every time I come out of that bend. Love the paint job on the car in front, I should point out. Okay, my TVs are about to turn off. I'm in trouble here. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I've nearly threw the two of them then. Shifted too early. That guy luckily won in the back of me, didn't go around, otherwise he could have got a run then. I think that's fair SR down though, I mean, whatever. Had to slow down there because my TV was turning off, so that's messed up my lap, hasn't it, completely. This guy will probably take me now. Oh, he's done me. I get a sports down for that. What's that all about? He's the one going into me. Not a big gap in it in the end, was there? I think, like you say, had I not had that mistake, I'd probably been a bit higher, but just wasn't my car. No improvement on my points, but damage sportsmanship rating. But there you go, done. Disappointing race all in all, really. Just that mistake. What happened on that mistake? I basically forgot what I was supposed to do in the corner. I didn't know how to counter what was happening in the car at the time, and then thought, ah, well, it's over then. I found the car very unpredictable for me. So yeah, my ratings would have fallen a bit, but there you go. Anyway, on the bright side, we went up 2 places despite the let's see. So 715 points, rubbish. So altogether then, disappointing, but alas, I think I got the most I could out of this combination. I think we always knew this wasn't going to suit me, so but at least my SR rating has improved. And all round a disappointing race, really. A disappointing race, absolutely. I mean, it's just not my type of car. The car requires a sort of technique where you drift it through corners, and I don't know whether it's easier with a controller or easier with a different type of wheel, or for people who are using a clutch. I mean, I don't really know the different techniques. So, but there's definitely something that lets people drive it through the corner, if you like. And for me, what I was having to do was brake straight, then turn in, and then gently accelerate. And if I went in too fast, even 1 mile an hour too fast, the car would just send me off. So it was a frustrating car to drive, but nevertheless, we're done. I think we did, you know, other than that, best I could in this particular car. John, thanks for today, and thank you everybody for watching, of course. Shouldn't miss the next stream. When is the next stream? I actually don't know at the moment when the next stream will be. Obviously, I'll be streaming on Saturday for the next FIA race. It's likely I'll have a practice session for that as well as a stream. But a horrible car today, and I think, you know, we've improved we've improved to 3,200 points. You know, bear in mind that just 5 weeks ago, my first win, I had 390 points for the win. So, you know, now we're getting better and better points. But I think I should have run the Monza a few more times. I think I'd have done all right in that. I'm not doing the manufacturer series. I simply don't have time to learn the cars and the courses basically, and I hope at some point to get onto some more of these. But again, the practice required to put in a performance that's, you know, okay is sometimes a bit more than I have time to do at the moment. But either way, a good rank up on the old stats today, and I'm just looking at my stats, and it's gone in the right direction. So at least for those of you at home, you can see there's the stats and a bit of improvement as well there. So certainly working our way up the whole stat tree, and you know, like you say, what have we got? We should probably hit A+ around this time next month, and then we'll see where we are. So I'm not going to be racing this all the time. I'm going to be doing some. Thanks, Mark. Jeff, I'll see you of course Saturday for more racing, and hopefully a better car that suits me better and I can give it a bit more. I have to admit, Saturday's going to be Nordschleife, and it's a track I don't like, the Nordschleife. So again, it's going to be another one where I'm going to really struggle. But it's been a good, what have we done tonight? 3 hours 45 minutes. Probably going to get claimed or something for some reason by someone for no reason at all. It's been a week of everybody claiming my streams. Obviously, we lost a lot to Formula One claiming videos over the past few years, and that's it really. So I'll be obviously coming up on the channel. There will be some retro. I mean, I've got a Planet, but there's going to be retro content. There's going to be Dirt Rally 2 and all the other racing games as well. But I'm getting there with this first. But thanks for stopping by, watching the whole stream today. Sorry I wasn't able to win a race today, but you know, I think it was always one of those where I think to get my 3rd place in the first race was my podium, and then after that it was just a case of see how it goes in good lobbies. And as you saw there, from 9th to 3rd at the start, you know, magic start, but ultimately you know, that mistake costing me. The mistakes came, I will say, because I was in a car that I wasn't quick in, and I was just trying to find new limits, trying to find speed. I was constantly seeing guys quicker than me coming from behind, and I just didn't know how to defend. I didn't know how to get ahead, and that's where the mistakes come from when you're struggling. But either way, did what I could today. That's it for now, viewers, and there'll be more from me very soon.